Matt Painter lost a game over the weekend to Indiana. It was a freaky game because they're up double digits, and you kind of feel like, this Indiana team is letting go of the rope, but they start the second half on that 28-3 run, and they end up winning the game. It was quite emotional for Mike Woodson, but after the game, as we know, they're making a change there. And Matt Painter was kind of asked about the fan base and the job and what he thinks Indiana should sort of do now. And he had some interesting comments. So let's hear from Matt Painter and what he had to say about Indiana.
Let's support somebody. I got to try that out for once every now and then. When shit goes wrong, like whatever you think Purdue fans are happy about what just happened, like you like, see, a fan base isn't the people that tweet. A fan base is the people when you're bleeding, they support you. Like they jump in and off, they jump on and off things here way too much. Like, support your coach, man. Support your players. Don't tweet negative things about them. Like, be supportive. Like, see how that works for you. But they build them up, like, and they overdo things. Like, quit overdoing shit. Just accurately, like, talk about what's actually happened. Like, don't, like, get, like, recruits and, like, that's Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Then they come out here. Well, they're not Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. They're good college players. Like, and then they build it up, and then they go, well, what's wrong? Well, they're part of it, but it's not their total fan base. It's just that everyone has a bad percentage of their fan base now because of Twitter. And then we think that's their fan base. It's not our fan base. It's not their real fan base either. And so I think that's an important piece, but it's hard for young people to hear all that and then go out and collectively play like, hey man, we're playing for you guys, but you dog us when we lose and then we're the best when we win. Well, we're somewhere in between, right? So like, I think they need to learn from some of those things and support Scott Dolson and support the new coach and support the staff, but also kind of be grounded with everything.
All right, RC, what do you make of that?
Listen, I understand what he's saying, and I've been on the record for what I've said about Indiana and another school for that matter. I think Texas belongs in that category as well, and at least Indiana, from a basketball perspective, has national championships for the level of expectations that they have, and they want to get back there because they have the resources that they put in the program. What I think they're doing now, they make it harder to get the program going. To piggyback off what Coach Painter was saying, is certain coaches with certain jobs that you would want, that you quote unquote think the Indiana program deserves or wants. Those coaches that you're trying to get are already at jobs, and they're looking at how this situation is, like Matt Painter's saying, and they're like, I don't want to go there and deal with that. And somebody will take the job. You're always going to have options to get the job, but it's not going to be the people that you want. I mean, you're thinking, the name everybody throws out there. We all know it. I'm not even going to say it. He ain't leaving the Celtics front office to come back and coach Indiana college basketball. Like, let's cut that out. And so even one else, like, from going back to Dusty May, will somebody else do it? They could write a big enough check to do it, but a lot of situations like that make certain coaches with jobs go, man, I don't want to go there and deal with that. And I think that's what they're doing to themselves. So from a fan base perspective, I would say there's things you don't like, but, probably figure out a different way to display, to show your displeasure with coaches and players early on. You got to. But again, these guys didn't do themselves any favor either, right? If you're going out the night before, if some of the reports that's coming out of there were true, then you deserve some of that too. So let's not act like some of this stuff isn't deserved, and that with the suspensions and things that were going on within that, you brought some of this on yourself. So I do understand what Matt Painter's saying long term, but again, you got to get somebody in there that's going to be able to adjust roster construction. This team didn't shoot it well all year long. We had concerns about their ability to shoot from deep. So that's going to be an issue of concern, whoever takes over the program. But the resources is there. It is Indiana. They'll be supported. They'll have everything that they need. And if it turns around quickly, then obviously this fan base will go over the top. But I think everybody understood what he was saying. He's basically like, hey, you guys have been at a turnstile with your coaching staff here lately. You probably need to hire somebody in there and give them some support and let them figure things out. But let's be honest, that's not the case anywhere anymore. So that's just a guy, an Indiana guy that's just supporting a rival school that's one of the best coaches in college basketball, and he's able to solidify that.
Yeah, you have to have some sort of internal belief, within inside your program, within inside your organization. And if you don't, it just comes out. It rears its ugly head. Social media, and so you see. I mean, it's just like shades of Kentucky and Louisville, right? Like
Yeah.
they want the guy, they want the certain guy, and because the environment is so toxic, they're not going to get that guy because why would Scott Drew, who they're going to build a statue for, leave Baylor for a toxic situation, and so on and so forth. So, you hope that they find their guy. That could lead the program to do, like, they have the resources, they have the name, they have. I mean, I think when I was kind of with the Oladipos and Zeller, Cody Zeller, those times. I mean, Indiana was rocking, and it's better for the sport. So
Right.
it's going to be interesting to see just what happens and who they pin for the job. But I mean, if I'm a guy that's up and coming right now, I think this is the job, right? If you want to be the guy, and kind of similar to Dusty made in Michigan, this is like the job that can change your life and your legacy. So, they'll find the right fit. And as far as this, like RC said, with the off the court stuff and being out, it's college, right? But as players, you got to understand the era you're in. When I was in school, if they had cameras and iPhone, social media, it would have been bad too. So,
but
it's
you
a whole
guys are
different
winning.
ball.
It's different. Nobody says it when you're winning,
Sure.
right? Like,
For
you're
sure.
winning,
For sure.
you're a top 20 team in the country. Nobody says it. You
For
can't
sure.
do it when something's going on and you're getting suspended. You didn't. And we've had teammates that have
Hey.
done it, but we weren't suspended. We weren't caught out when it was happening.
Jason Kidd told us we got caught out in L.A. at a dance club, and we were on TMZ, and he said, "Look, you know the rule."
No, it wasn't no dance club.
He said, "Look,
yeah.
we lost to the Lakers at the time. They were the worst team, they were the worst team in the West. We lost to them." And he said, "Listen, if you're going to hoot with the Owls, you better be able to soar with the Eagles. So you got to learn that as a player, and Indiana just got to take heed of that. Their players, and if you're winning, everything is good. If you're not, you know what time it is."
Hey, and let's be clear with it too, man. Credit to the coaching staff and players. They didn't quit. Like, this thing was bad. This felt like it was going to be an implosion. Yeah. They were going to implode, man. And we said it here. I've said it when you heard the reports about that and then the suspensions and all those things we're talking about. These kids are still fighting, man. They're still fighting to get in the tournament. And honestly, I'd be lying to you. I'm cheering for them just because they've already announced that they're moving on. So what would you do now if they're going to run and then make it into the NCAA tournament? It would be funny to me to see that happen. So I'm actually cheering for them. Yeah, just for the hell of it, because of that. But no, the players obviously hadn't quit, and they hadn't quit on Mike Woodson. So that says a lot to me.